G'day everyone, Rach here. I can't even remember who I am. Rach here from Rara's Realm. I am a Kiwi Flosstuber, South Island of New Zealand. I'm trying something a little bit different. Normally I've had the overhead light on because I have to shut those blinds now. And I just had a little play in the screen, and until I watch it back on the big computer I won't know, but the whips look a lot better in this light than having the overhead light on, so I'm going to try it this video and see how it goes. If you have any problems, you don't like it, whatever, just let me know down below and I'll go back to putting the light on above. But I've got blinds open directly ahead of me, and it's a bright enough day outside. Okay, right, so hello everyone. Right, let's do a quick catch up. So, ooh, chocolate. Put that in the bin. So 2 weeks ago, I record my videos on a Monday morning. And so 2 weeks ago, I did my video on Push It Up. And that afternoon, our Prime Minister announced that we were going into lockdown on Wednesday at midnight. So she gave us 2.5 days to pull our fingers out and get organised. So we have been in lockdown now for about a week and a half, coming up 2 weeks on Wednesday. So it's still early days to see how it's going for us, but supposedly based on modelling, where we are at about 1,000 cases in a country of just under 5 million people, if we hadn't have gone into lockdown, supposedly the modelling says we would have had 4,000 cases, so maybe it's working. We're probably another week away from knowing for sure, but so we are in lockdown for 4 weeks, so coming up this Wednesday we'll be halfway. Because I live with my parents, I'm the designated goer-outerer. We can only go to the supermarket or for medical supplies, hospital, doctor, pharmacy. So I'm the person that goes out. So I've been trying to only go out once a week. We need a house cow. That's all I can say. My mother doesn't remember what's going on, which means that she doesn't remember she has to ration her milk consumption, which means we go through a hell of a lot of milk per day. So anyway, if we had a house cow, we'd be fine. Right, let's get on to the task at hand. I have got 5 whips to show you. I don't have any haul. I have just literally remembered as I pressed record. Durene, I think that's how you say her name. Oh, I don't even remember if her surname was right. Durene Jones, the English designer. She has an Etsy shop. She's actually got a 50% off sale until midnight UK time Sunday. So for us here in New Zealand, it's lunchtime today. I actually was going to go and get a couple of things. I completely forgot, so I will do that in a minute. The other thing I have done is I was in communication with Teresa, Kitten Stitcher, and she offered to hold a package for me. So I have actually brought 6 charts from the Nashville releases, 3 of the Blackbirds, and then 3 others that I really wanted and I knew could sell out and take a while to come back. So for example, like Kringles, which I really want, I know I won't have any problems getting that, so I haven't ordered that yet. So I've got 6 sitting in Teresa's house in Mississippi, and hopefully they will get to me no problem after our lockdown is over and there are no issues with post in America. But at the moment she says there isn't any issues with post in America in her latest email today. So I do have some stuff, but I just don't have it to show you yet. Right, I have been stitching, but I haven't been stitching as much as I could be stitching. Can't even speak. Stitching on lockdown, let's put it that way. I'm really not into stitching, but I'm making sure I stitch. If I don't stitch every day, I stitch every other day. So I should be further ahead than I am, but I'm not, and that's life. At least things are moving. So I'll show you my 5 that I have to show you today. So they are not in any order, I just piled them up so they're as they come off the pile. So my first one, okay, glare might be an issue. This is Touching the Autumn Sky, Mirabilia, and I'm being lent this by a viewer in Australia. The last time you saw this, which will have been 2 weeks ago, I'm working around the outside of her apron, and I had a little bit of the top of the apron done. I have a table, let me pull it closer. Okay, so, which is up? That's up. So what I have done is I have finished the bottom of this main bulk of the apron. There's a bit that comes down here, I think, but this is the main bulk at the side. And I'm just working on filling in all these little blocks here. One length of thread. So when this doesn't have its actual rotation, it gets a length of thread a day. One little thread. Ooh, I spat, and I think it's on the screen. Bum. I will try to fix that in a moment. One length of thread does about 3 blocks of that sort of size. You can see those 3 pink ones. So that works out. So it just slowly gets filled in as I work on it. So this is up, and that's her apron. This is on 32 count Blue Ice Belfast with the call for DMC. Right, I am going to try something because I don't know how it's going to show. Just cover your eyes for a moment. Okay, alright. Anyway, the next project, Wayward Needle. The next project off the pile is also by Nora Corbett, and it is Pond Lily. And this was woeful. So I'm not even sure when you last saw this. I don't know if I've worked on this year at all. So I've got her blue dress is done, her leaf is done, and part of her arms and legs there were done. So what I have worked on, I actually think this only had 1 day of 4. So, that's helpful. I think I'd never done this before. So what I have done, let's see if I can fix the folds up so you can get a better view. Yeah. So I have been working on the shading on the front arm and her leg, and I've done her back arm, which is a slightly darker colour, and the hand. I think there's a row of stitching missing on her hand. So not much, but at least it's something. Just protect that needle. The next project off the pile is Cooper, Kathy Barrick's Cooper. And I've got his head done. I have done pretty much, I've got the letters there, but that was all done. And I was just starting in the top up here when you saw it 2 weeks ago. And I think it had a couple more days of its rotation. So what I have done is not a lot more, but I think there's a couple more lengths of thread. So I've just been working on the darker colour. I think I had done those banners last time, so I've only done a couple more rows there. It's going to take a while counting out, because the banners are not in any regimented order. You can't sort of get the pattern in your head and then just go. You've got to check every line. So anyway, the next project off the pile is which way's up? The Modern Folk Embroidery 2020 sale that I'm doing, and I am in. I'm up here now. No, is that right? Yeah, it looks funny back to front. Yeah, I'm in here now. So, that is where we are at, and I think what I have done since last time, let me just fold it in half a bit now. So I think last time I had come, oh, I'm back to front and it's disorientating me. I think I had done the outer line here to come down to join up and finish that. I think that's what I've done. So I've worked on the hearts and starting that. There is a partial heart here before it goes into the next page. So I've decided I'm going to work on this block next now. And then there's a nice big hearty crowny thing. Yeah, it's a hearty crowny thing that goes in here. So I'll work on those elements now, I think, and then I'll come back and finish this when I get the next page. So that will get a length a day whenever I do it. And the final project to show you is the bane of my life. I actually seriously considered pulling part of this apart and rejigging the whole thing. Garden Club series, Blackbird Designs, and this is part 4, called Sweet Home. There are so many mistakes in this that I have made that I'm really questioning continuing. But I made the decision to fudge and continue this morning. I did a little bit this morning to show that I have got something. Yeah, I'm really just... I must have been really distracted, really tired, something that I have got this so wrong in so many places. Anyway, this is where we are at. The last time you saw it, I had it all done bar this flower in the middle. So over the last few days, I've worked on this flower in the middle. What I have discovered is that when I started this flower, I started up here. I counted off that leaf there, which probably was the wrong thing to do. And it wasn't till I got all the way down here and I thought, that's not going to line up, and it was going to kiss a leaf here. I knew I had problems around this side. Anyway, I came down, I did a little fudgy manoeuvre and came down to where the stalk is most supposed to hit the basket. And I couldn't figure out, I counted this several times, I couldn't figure out. And what I've discovered is that where that bottom line of that stalk lines up with the basket, it's supposed to be over 1 stitch. Didn't even see that. So I don't know. We are close to the end now. I'm not going to be drastic. I finished the flower and I just thought, pull your head in, woman. I've got some borders to do. I've got to do satin stitch in the basket, a butterfly and a heart, and there's supposed to be words, I think, in here, but I'm not going to put words. I'll figure something out. Because it says it's to do with a town in Kansas. Well, I live in New Zealand, not Kansas, so I don't think I want to put Sweet Home X New Zealand. So I will figure something out. But yeah, I'll be pleased when this is done. And I was actually just looking at the other charts, and the chart, don't lose the needle, I'll just hold it open. So this is parts 1 to 4, and part 5 will come up under here. I've just been looking at that one, and it's 2 butterflies. It doesn't have a top border, so I'm going to have to figure out where to place it. So I'm actually thinking, because I know I have problems with this chart and I know that I've got to leave the border off the top below, I'm actually thinking I'm going to start next on the square below so that I can get it sorted, and then hopefully by the time I get to under block 1 I can figure out where to put the butterflies. Who's thought this was a great idea to do? I really don't know. I don't know. Today I am not liking the Garden Club series at all. So, there we go. That is my pile of whips. Today starts a new whip. So I should have I should actually have 6 things to be able to show you in 2 weeks, I think, if I figured it out correctly. They are. You'd think I would know how to do a video by now. I've got lockdown brain. So next up is a country winter. That's the Plum Street sampler. Words are hard too, apparently. Followed by Joy Country Cottage Needleworks. Bringing Home the Tree is Pinebury Lane? Can't remember. Stacey Nash? Something like that. I don't know that it's either of those, actually. We'll wait and see. And that, if I really pull my finger out, I have a good chance of finishing that. I've got 4 days, a handful of trees, Santa and a sleigh, and they're all small. It's a small chart, so I need to pull my finger out and finish that one, really. And Hawk Run Hollow should feature, should get a couple of days before the rotation comes back again. The fortnight rolls over. And then on top of those will be the Folk Embroidery Cell will get a length of thread, and Touching the Autumn Sky will get a length of thread. So I should have 6 things to show you next time. Anyway, that is where I'm at. I hope everyone who has to be on lockdown or have stay-at-home orders is coping well. I don't mind being at home. I'm a hermit, so I'm looking at this as good for the bank balance, because you're not going out and buying a coffee here or a magazine there or whatever. So I hope to come out the other side a little bit richer. And some cross-stitching done, and some books read, and some Disney Plus watched, and I've just found a new channel on homesteading to binge watch, and there's a lot of that, and that's probably part of that is why I'm not stitching, because I want to watch this channel of this bloke starting a homestead. Anyway, I'm waffling as I am prone to do. I will catch you all in 2 weeks' time, and stay sane, everyone. Stay safe, stay home. I will catch you then. Bye for now.